A significant severe weather outbreak is expected on Friday, bringing the potential for very large hail, strong to intense tornadoes, and even some isolated significant damaging wind gusts. In this weather forecast, I will discuss the official forecast for Friday, what could happen based on the model runs, and how you can prepare for this and help others prepare for this major event. First, looking at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for Friday, you can see we have an enhanced risk of severe weather across central into eastern Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, into western Missouri, and that also includes a sliver of northwestern Arkansas and southeastern Nebraska there. The slight risk extends from portions of the Midwest into the southern Great Plains. Looking at a probabilistic outlook, you can see pretty much the same thing, except we have a SIG 1 area all the way from northwestern Indiana, northern Illinois, all the way down into western Arkansas and northern Texas there. So a very large area could see at least some significant severe weather on Friday there. And if we actually go down into the discussion, you can see the main hazards are going to be tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail there. Looking down here, they aren't really talking about anything specific. I know in the morning discussion they were talking about a strong tornado threat, very large hail threat. You can see down here it says across eastern Kansas, northern Oklahoma, and western Missouri, there's going to be initial supercells. Those will eventually form into a QLCS for some semi-discrete activity favored along the southern part of it, and there could be some damaging wind threat and some QLCS tornado potential that could persist all the way into portions of the Midwest, very towards the Great Lakes. And the main hazards with this are probably going to be all hazards, actually, because this is a really unusual setup where we could get strong tornadoes, significant damaging wind gusts, very large hail. You really don't see that too often. Next, looking at the excessive rainfall outlook for Friday by the Weather Prediction Center, you can see we have a marginal risk of flash flooding from northeastern Texas, a sliver of northwestern Louisiana, eastern Oklahoma, much of Arkansas into south central Missouri there, and another marginal risk of excessive rainfall from eastern Iowa, northern Illinois into central Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin there, and also a sliver of southeastern Minnesota. If you were in those areas, they wouldn't be too concerned, but pay attention to future forecasts. But overall, this is looking to be mainly a severe weather event, although there is a chance of some marginal flash flooding with it as well. First of all, looking at what some of the weather models think could happen on Friday. First of all, we are looking at the HRRR here. Give me a second to get ready here, but basically you can see once we fast forward to Friday, you can see late on Thursday we do have some storms firing in the Texas Panhandle there, and eventually those move off into northern Oklahoma as we get into early Friday morning. They continue into southeastern Kansas. They could bring some damaging wind gusts and some large hail, but nothing too significant really for those areas. And as we get to 18Z on Friday, you can see, if you look very closely across south central Kansas, north central Oklahoma, you can see some little blips forming, some little storms trying to form, and that's basically what's going to bring our later significant severe threat. Next, looking at the rapid refresh model, VRAP. Here we just have a cajole mess right now, but as we go to Friday, you can see generally we just have some isolated rain and showers or sky rain and showers. And as we get to 18Z on Friday, you can see that rain starts to move up to the east, and then we get that band of supercells damaging and QLCS damaging winds. And as we get to 0Z, that's going through the Kansas City metro area near Joplin. It's already passed through Tulsa there, moving it to western Arkansas. And then looking at the NAM, let's see. Let's skip ahead here. As we go into early Friday morning, we just have some isolated rain showers. And as we get to 18th on Friday, you can see we have some little blips popping off. 21Z, you can see a couple supercells there. And eventually have that later line, which brings a more significant damaging wind threat. And you can see we still have a potential for a couple of supercells ahead of that line as well. Some of you are probably still wondering, well, how can I prepare for this event a couple days out? Well, first of all, make sure you have an emergency planning, especially in case of a tornado, but generally in case of any severe river flash flooding that does occur, make sure you have a designated safe place in your house or near your house that you could go to if you're under a tornado warning, if a tornado is confirmed near you, and make sure not to go outside during severe thunderstorms as well when the event occurs. And also make sure you have an emergency supply kit in case a tornado or damaging wind gust hits your house and knocks out power, causes significant damage. You're going to want food for days, you're going to want like a first aid kit, you're going to want water obviously, so make sure you have it prepared in case something bad happens. Anyways, that is the end of today's weather forecast. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, and also make sure to share this video with as many people as you can so we can get the word out to many people. And also, I am releasing my Chonkita sticker on April 5th, but it will be in pre-sale on March 25th, so make sure to mark it on your calendars if you are interested in buying the sticker. And also, at 1,000 subscribers, I will have some huge changes and announcements to my channel, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing again. Goodbye.